Well, all right. Welcome back to another episode of It's Jag, the podcast, starring this guy, Misery of Foo. And of course, just like you see on screen, we're back doing this more often. Not really sure when I'm going to do it. I guess just a lot of times when I have some thoughts on some stuff, and we're going to talk about Dying Light 2. I'll give you some of my impressions of it and what I think of it so far. I'm not going to say that it has been overhyped because I haven't had really enough time to delve really deep enough into Dying Light 2, but enough to where I think I can give you some first impressions. Then we're going to possibly get in there and play that tonight. I know I talked about that the other day. I think I was doing baseball last night. I just kind of been in the mood to play baseball. It was just kind of one of those things, but don't worry. We're going to get back to Dying Light 2 very, very soon, and probably tonight, because I do want to play it. I just needed time, and I haven't had that kind of time. So it's been kind of weird. You can also follow us on YouTube. Very easy to find me there. All you got to do is just go to YouTube and punch in Jag, the podcast. The way you see it right there. And you will be able to see all of our episodes in perpetuity, even if Twitch decides to take them down, because, you know me, I like to piss off the world. All right, so, I do. It's what I do. It's what I like to do. Look, I'm not always wearing sunglasses, but man, it is really bright, okay? So it's just easier for me to wear sunglasses. I'm not trying to, do anything. I'm not trying to be Raptor or anything. That guy's awesome. If you're on YouTube, I love watching that Raptor guy. He's great. His Dying Light 2 content, really good. Pretty much everything he does is really good. So head on over to him after you've watched me. If you're on Twitch, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. Again, I'm wearing the Squat shirt. That's a really cool shirt. It's one of my favorite shirts. Wednesday, I'm probably going to have my AEW shirt on. I'm not quite sure what one I want to wear. I haven't worn it for a little while. Kenny Omega's been gone. That was like my main shirt I was going to. And he's been off, rehabbing. So until he comes back, I felt I had to put that shirt in the corner a little bit. There's some new shirts out there I'd like to get. But, they cost a lot of money. And money's hard to come by nowadays, right? And we've got so many awesome games coming out that, you got to pick and choose. So I'm going to give you my thoughts about Dying Light 2. I'll also talk a little bit more about MLB The Show and some more stuff that I found out that I didn't talk about previously. And again, just to showcase that, we had talked about this earlier. This is coming out. Man, I'm really tempted in the MVP edition. I'm starting to get really tempted in it because I like Diamond Dynasty, and going back and playing MLB The Show 21, I've really had a good time. And I don't know. I've heard some things. I don't know if it's going to be great, but we'll talk about some stuff coming up here shortly. I also was going to talk about, first thing I'm going to talk about is just snobby people. Because we had some kind of, I had a thing that I had to go to today. And it was in Richmond, Virginia. And so it was about an hour and a half drive from my location north. And the drive was good. It was a nice drive. Very, very pretty up there. Very, very pretty. And I would definitely, maybe one day think about living in maybe that area. It's a very, very nice area. But, it's not Tampa. But, it was a nice, it's nice. It was pretty. And, because there was a time that I actually thought about going, that I thought that I would like to try to find my father's place and try to get that back into our name after he had died. He passed away in the house, and unfortunately I was unable to buy it to help out, and we had built it together with our own two hands. And so I'd like to try to find the house and get it back in. I think that would make my dad happy. And there was times I thought about doing that, and that would mean I would have to eventually make a decision to head up north to Michigan. But I have since decided that will never happen. That's just never going to happen because, you fucked up. So anyway, I'm done with that, I think. So I'll basically stick around here or I'll head out west. But it was a good idea. Again, I don't think I'll ever be able to find a house. If I am able to find it, cross my fingers, maybe I'll do something about it. But I'll be honest, this would really have to kick off in order for me to ever have a chance to do that. And we all both know that's not going to happen. I'm just being honest. This is just, this is banter and fun. This isn't supposed to be a money-making thing, and that's not why I'm doing it. So, but yeah, I had those ideas, but they've gone, whatever. So anyway, it's a really pretty area up there in Richmond. But we went to this restaurant, very nice restaurant, very, very nice restaurant. The people in the restaurant were awesome, very, very nice, incredibly, gracious. And, it's an upscale kind of restaurant thing, it was for a work-related, get-together of, supervisors. I'm not one of them, but I just happen to be the spouse of a supervisor. And, man, these people, they're, like, really, I have been around, now look, I have been around celebrities. I'm not name dropping, because I think everybody thinks that when I do that stuff, I'm trying to, like, show off. I'm not. I'm just very proud of what I accomplished for 14 years. I'm very proud of raising that banner back there to the rafters, plus many more, and retiring numbers such as Marty St. Louis and Vinny LeCavalier. I'm very, very pleased with that. Starting a tradition with Steven Stamkos, being with him since he was 17 years old. I'm proud of the people that I've been around, that I've worked around, and that I've gotten to know. I'm proud that I've worked with Bruno Mars, and that he was so nice to me, and that I have these stories that I can keep to myself, or maybe one day share with the rest of the world, and not have it be like I'm trying to show off. It's just there's some really nice people out there, and especially in the celebrity business. And I've worked around these people, and I've worked around the hobnobby, high class, whatever, the highfalutin people in the NHL, the owners' wives and the players' wives, and the owner wives are usually worse than the players' wives. Not Mrs. Vinnick, though. Not at all. The Vinnick family is one of the absolute best ownership groups in the world. But I've worked with some really bad ones, including Oren Kulis, who was the maker of Saw. And I had to work with this guy a little bit. And, man, the pressure that he put me under that one year was just so damn stressful. I started smoking, and I haven't stopped since. And not the ganja. So there's that. Although that was around the same time it might have been a few years before that I finally found weed. I don't know. Whatever. That's neither here nor the point. Anyway, I have been around some really, snobby people. These people top the cake. For no other reason other than just some really stupid comments that they would make. Having no opinion. So their opinion of the South is what drives me insane. Because I was born in the South. I was born in Fort Smith, Arkansas. I am from the South. I lived most of my entire life in the South. I was only in Michigan for a couple years. My whole life was deep South, okay? And I've always known, I never liked being in the North. Even when I was in Michigan, I felt completely out of place. I didn't feel at home. You just feel, I think if you're from the South, you're born from the South, you understand what it is to be a Southerner, what it means to you. And I know the people of Texas understand that as well. So, it means something to us. And we always look at the North because the North always looks at the Southern people as if we're stupid. And it really offends us, pisses us off. When in actuality, we have some of the best and most talented people are in the South. Because in the North, like today, they're a bunch of idiots. And they have this opinion of the South, or the opinion of Florida, or an opinion of Arkansas, look, you can have all the opinions in the world about Arkansas, because I'm just glad I didn't get stuck there. Can you imagine? Jesus Christ. I don't think we'd ever be doing this, because I wouldn't have maybe ever figured out how to, whatever. And that's not putting down Arkansas, but I'd love to go back. It's beautiful. I'd love to go back and see where I was born, but still, man, I'm just glad I didn't have to stay there. Anyway, just snobby damn people, and my question is why? Why? What is wrong with our society today? That's really my open-ended question to you. What do you think is wrong with people today? How often do you encounter just assholes, right? You're at work. I don't know what you do. Maybe you're a server at a restaurant. Maybe you do coffee. Maybe you drive an Uber. I don't know. There's so many things that people can do and unfortunately you have to have customer service, right? And nowadays, being in customer service just is the piss. It sucks. And then we wonder why our workforce has completely disappeared. Well, I don't blame you, man. When you got to deal with people that are ignorant like that, oh my God. I'm surprised they weren't triple masked while we were sitting inside the restaurant. Whatever. So I just wanted to say that, again, I wasn't going to bitch about it too much. It was just a little thing I wanted to throw out there because it just happened and we just got back. And I thought about it to myself and I said, oh my God, Worst bunch of dumbasses I've ever seen. So and I'm hoping that maybe someone there will find this. I don't know how they ever would, but if you do, you're an idiot. And you know that I'm telling you you're an idiot. I was just really a good actor. I'm such a good actor that I was so overly polite that they had no idea that they're just so, they're amoebas to me. Just because their brain cells are not anywhere near even mine. And mine are half dead from smoking weed. Okay? Truth. Now, I'm a gamer, so you know. I want to talk real quick about, we'll get off that. It happened, so I just wanted to share it with all of you. That's what this is, right? I mean, look, I understand it's a podcast, we're going to talk about games, but I mean, in reality, I also just want to talk about my life, too. I mean, it's kind of like a video vlog, almost. I don't really have a lot of friends. I got really nobody to talk to, and family has kind of left me in the lurch. So, you know, except for my mom. So, honestly, I just want to talk. And so sometimes I have opinions on stuff, and it may kind of piss people off, but they're just kind of opinions. It doesn't mean you have to take them. You can take them with a grain of salt and then throw the salt over your shoulder and forget about it. But it gives me a chance to just talk. And that's, you know, that's nice. That's the cool thing. And there's going to be times that I might talk about my past. And if I do, I apologize. But there's just, you know, sometimes, like, look, the other day I heard Thunderstruck come on for a commercial. And you know, I just wanted to cry. I mean, that's just because it hurt so bad, because I immediately, like, was on edge, like, oh my God, where's the skater kids? You know, like, I got to do my job. And I realized, oh, I'm sitting here. I'm not in the arena, and I don't do that anymore. And it's been really hard for me. It's been hard to say goodbye to something that I loved so much. So there's going to be times that I'm going to have some bad days. Today's not a bad day, but I just wanted to share that, you know, sometimes that happens. And, you know, then maybe I don't broadcast or something, you know, or maybe I just sound kind of weird, or maybe I just don't get on the microphone. And that might be why, because I don't want to, you know, you guys don't need that stuff. We got enough bullshit in our lives. You know, definitely don't come here to hear my plight. But it is cool because it gives me a chance to talk to all of you, and maybe, you know, I can make some friends along the way and meet some really cool people and help you guys out, to help sell your channels more than anything and help make you guys money. I'm not too much worried about myself. I need the money, but, I mean, I'm not doing this for that. I'm doing it because I don't have a chance to entertain anymore, so I got to figure out ways to be an artist and entertain. So, you know, grow out the hair and go from there. I think I'm going bald. Holy shit. No, that was just, I'm clean hair. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about this again. So, man, you know, playing MLB The Show 21, I have refound a connection back to it. And I think a lot of times, so I've decided to do a complete gaming change. And I'm no longer concerned about what others play that I know. And I think that was kind of getting in the way of my gaming experience. It was stopping me from having fun anymore, because there's a lot of games that I enjoyed playing, but then certain individuals didn't enjoy playing them, and so it ruined it for me. And maybe vice versa. I mean, it could have been the same on my end. And so sometimes it's best to just kind of amicably split. And so that's what I've decided to do. We've decided to amicably split, apparently, and so that's what's going to happen. And so I've decided to amicably split, as I use that word for the fourth time, sorry, and get away from Sea of Thieves, get away from multiplayer games that I only focus on for certain individuals. I'm going to go back to gaming for myself and try to really reconnect with the love and the passion that I have for certain things. And this is a game that I've always had passion for. I enjoy this game, and I would really like to see what they can do with it. I really have hopes that this year is going to be a better year than even last year. But then again, being put on the Nintendo Switch for the first time, I have my concerns. We all seen what happened coming over to the Xbox, how if you've played it on PlayStation, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It just didn't play as good as it had in prior years. I still think MLB The Show 15 was the best. My favorite. And I tried the batting stance from Show 15, and that doesn't equate for me. I kind of like the fisheye, but I think that's just because I've gotten used to it at this point, and I think they've changed it as well. I don't believe it's the same as it was in 15, but 15 was awesome. I think that wasn't that the one with Yasiel Puig on the front cover? Great game. I really enjoyed that one. That was one of my favorite shows. So we all know, coming from PlayStation, that the game last year on the Xbox was not up to snuff compared in past years. And a lot of Xbox players, they didn't realize that. This is a year to kind of maybe up the game and show what these guys are capable of really producing. They can produce decent games. The thing is, though, they've got to do the right game modes. We see a lot of developers starting to go in the direction of, hey, let's start making games that, players are playing more against the computer, more offline kind of modes, things like that, because of the multiplayer aspect, and because we go back to the beginning part where I was saying people are just assholes and snobbish. That's becoming an issue, right? I mean, there's a lot of people that just play muted. And there's a lot of times that if they talk, it's just the trash talking is ridiculous. And sometimes some of the stuff that is said is just, you just shouldn't say that stuff, all right? Not even to the alphabet people should you say that stuff. So, I absolutely understand getting away from, doing this, the whole online, just the community stuff. I think that can be involved, and that can be for players that maybe play this game at a higher level, the pro gamers per se. But for players like myself, who don't have the time to really, put, I don't know what, some of these guys put, 20 hours a day into this game? Which is about the way to grind it out to get anything really out of it. But if you're like me and you don't have that kind of time, or you like to play other games and you go back and forth, then it would be really cool for them to kind of add some modes for me in more of the offline category. And I'm speaking more of Diamond Dynasty than anything. To allow me to kind of progress through, the level system. So that I'm allowed to, have a chance to get, not have to work so hard. And I understand it's a grind, but my goodness gracious, like I said, we've talked about before, Conquest, that's just insane. It's slow. It's a tedious process. You get some really good cards out of it, but you don't really level up that great. And then, at the same time, the best way to do it was to just grind 9-inning games against a computer on rookie difficulty and just hammer out 20 runs a game if you could do it, and you get a hell of a lot of experience. But that's boring, man. Like, give me something else. So I like there's a lot of people talking about maybe there's going to be some kind of a weekend league. Okay, well, that's cool. If you want to do the weekend league thing, that's great. Do a weekend league thing for those guys that like to go online and that are good at the game enough to go and do that. But I'm not. So I would like to have more of an offline mode. So from my perspective, give me an offline experience. So the idea is if I have to have a Diamond Dynasty kind of season kind of thing, which is not Showdown, because Showdown is another one that just kind of, I pay stubs, and then if I'm more than likely I'm going to fail a lot of times because I'm not the best at this game. But again, that's the point. You try and you try and you try again, right? You never should give up. Never say you can't do anything. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. You can accomplish absolutely anything. So never say can't. I hate that word. But again, it's a grindy thing. And sometimes I just don't have the time for that ultimate grind. Now, if they were to offer me that offline experience to where maybe I'm able to play a mini kind of season mode in a way, not really, but kind of like what they do now, but more of the offline against the computer with my Diamond Dynasty team, and I get some rewards out of that, that would be kind of cool. I'd be down for that. Another thing that I learned about this game as well is they're going to have, I know a lot of you, if you play on the Xbox Series X, S, or the PlayStation 5, the next-gen consoles, then last year's game offered you the ability to create a ballpark. So that was really cool. Now, I would have to say that in terms of what you could do was fairly limited because a lot of times it was great, but then there was a lot of bland to the create a ballpark as well. Just kind of, there was life, but then there wasn't enough life, and it was hard to kind of get the damn things to kind of curve the way you wanted. So I hope they fix that a little bit. But here's the cool part. You were never able to play night games when you created your stadium. And I love playing at night because, my God, sometimes you just see the ball better at night. That's just true story. I like playing at night when I played. So you could see the ball better. So one of the things that they're going to do is in Create a Ballpark this year is you will have night games. You will be able to have the night cycle going through, and that's awesome. That's really cool. I think that's great. It's going to add a lot more life and a lot more appeal to Create a Ballpark. And really, instead of having to play day games all the time, I just wonder, Are they going to offer weather dynamics? Because we never had the weather dynamics either. The fog, the rain. Are you going to add that, or are we just getting the day-night cycle? And if that's it, that's okay. I'm cool with that. I'm not going to get too upset about it. That's kind of cool. There's also some other stuff that they're talking about, but again, it's just kind of on the fringe right now. Not a lot of information, much more than what I've given you, has come out. Other than the fact that if you've created any ballpark that's in MLB The Show 21, you will not be able to use that ballpark in The Show 22. You're going to have to create a whole new ballpark. Nothing's going to carry over. And from my understanding as well, your seasons are not going to carry over either. So if you've been doing anything in terms of franchise, things like that, I know in the past, you could do that and it would carry over, from my understanding. That's not going to happen. Again, it is early. We're still about 8 weeks out from the game. So maybe this will change, or the information is just wrong, and when San Diego Studios comes out, maybe we'll get better information. So there's that. I just want to tell you a little bit about that. Some stuff that I forgot to tell you about it that I thought was kind of cool, and that I wanted to share with you guys that I kind of glazed over. So, there's that. Let's quickly talk about Dying Light 2. I'm going to talk about my impressions of it here real quick and give you my synopsis. And I've only put about 6 hours of gameplay into it. So they're not talking to a guy who's put in enough hours to give you maybe the best of reviews, but I can give you a review from a gamer who doesn't have the time to sit for 20 hours straight and has family life and life issues, and so that you get the time that you can with it to put into it, and I can give you that kind of review. So I had heard going into this game that it was such a refreshing game. It was so different from any other open world game because of it, not in terms of just having to go and do the quests and stuff, but the quests were just so much more dynamic, and it was just so much more interesting and different from other open worlds. And I would have to disagree at this point. Now, I haven't gotten completely all the way through, and I've heard people say that, hey, maybe I still got to get past a certain level. I know they've opened up the open world, but the story has finally, we were at the bazaar. I said this the other day. I was running around the bazaar, and I'm like, what's going on, man? I'm doing something wrong. And then finally, they contacted me to move on to the next mission. So, because I was doing a couple of side missions, and that was just kind of, and then I started doing some chase stuff just to see what that was all about. It was kind of fun. The game's fun. It is. It's fun. But to say that it's completely different from any other open world, it's not yet. I haven't experienced that yet. So we'll continue on with more stuff. We'll be playing the game, probably more than likely later this evening I'll be playing it. I was probably going to go and play some baseball. I don't know if I'm going to broadcast or not, but just for myself to kind of get through the season. There's some really good games that I had to finish off against the Indians last night. If you watched that, I did end up sweeping them, but the last game was really tough because I only scored 1 run the entire time. And then they came back in the, not the entire time, they came back in the top of the 9th. And I was trying to close it out with my guy who'd had 2 straight saves. And he screwed it up completely. And they got the tying run in. And I took off to take, second baseman kind of thing. I'm like, no, we're playing baseball the way baseball is meant to be played. They're not putting a guy on second and extra innings. We're going to do this. So the game actually went extra innings and went 14 innings. And I ended up hitting a walk-off home run in the 14th inning, and I have no idea how that happened. It was just, I could not hit the ball for anything in that game. That was just, oh, God. But I won, so we're going to move on, and I think we play another series. I'm excited to do that, so if you guys want to see me do that, you can let me know. You just follow me at MiseryFoo on Twitter, and you can DM me, or you can just let me know just by saying, hey, Foo, we like that. Dude, go broadcast it. Other than that, I'm just going to do it for myself for a little bit, and then we'll go into Dying Light 2 later this evening. I'll do the primetime evening slot, and we'll hit it. We'll go for it, and we'll do another however long I'm willing to want to go with it. I mean, the last time I played it went 5 hours, or about 5 hours, and then an hour after offline. And I haven't touched it since. I haven't had time, so probably another 5 to 6 hours, tonight. Maybe. We'll see. It depends on what time I get on, and but I got nothing else better to do. So, but so far it's not any different from any open world that I've noticed so far. But it's not a bad game. It's fun. It's fun as hell. It really is. I need to get better at the jumping. I need to get better at the parkour. But like any game that you're playing for the first time, you got to put time and effort into it to get better. I have to level up my character and get him stronger. I have to learn how to fight a little bit better, but the fighting mechanics are so smooth. The gameplay is really smooth. During that 6 hours, I did not have one hiccup. I did not have one glitch. I had no problem. It ran smooth as butter, buttery silk smooth on the Xbox Series X. So if anybody out there is having issues, what system are you on? I would like to know, because I have not had any issues as of yet. But that does not mean that this Misery of Foo guy isn't going to somehow try find a game-breaking bug. Because knowing my luck, I probably will. The other parts of Dying Light 2 is the story. And the story is extremely intriguing. I enjoy the story a lot. It has been a lot of fun. It's almost like watching, not a TV show, because you know it's not a TV show, but I guess it is kind of like that, but it's not. It's a very dynamic story. And again, people that told me that, because I like Fallout, I like Skyrim, I like those story-driven, open-world, RPG kind of like games where it's just sandbox, or it feels like a sandbox. I love those kind of games, right? And they said that this would appeal to me in terms of the story, and it has. The story really has gotten me. I enjoy watching the cutscenes. I haven't skipped through any of them. I want to know everything about the characters. I talk to every character. I ask a lot of questions, so you can kill a lot of time doing that. And there's a lot of scavenging. So if you enjoy going around and searching buildings and stuff, man, it's fun. I mean, it really is fun. The one part going through, when we had to sneak through, if you remember correctly, and if you haven't seen it, you can go back and you can watch some of the broadcasts. I think it's about, if you skip about an hour and a half in, I think you might find this mission that I was doing, where we had to sneak through the sleeping zombies, and if they were to wake up, we were dead, and we had little places to hide under the desk. And I was kind of stupid at first, because I had my flashlight, and then I realized, oh yeah, the flashlight, well, like, duh, that's going to wake them up and piss them off, so maybe turn off the flashlight. And I had to use the little, you push the right stick down and it sends out a little beacon, and you can kind of see where they're at and stuff. But that was fun. And then the chase, that was a pucker butthole moment. And that, I mean, if you can give me that in a game, then I'm having a good time. So far my interpretation on Dying Light 2 is it's good, but I can't say that it is anything different right now, other than it's a really good game. It is refreshing in a way in terms of story and dialogue, and not being as buggy as we've seen in a lot of games, even though I know some people are going to have those bugs. I know a lot of people are saying that, but for me, it wasn't that. It hasn't been that. But other than that, it hasn't been that genre-defining kind of title, and I don't see where I could give it 9.5. I know IGN, I think, gave it a 9.5. I don't know if I can give it a 9.5. I don't know if it's... But I got to go further into it, so it's unfair to me to give a full opinion. This is just my half-hearted opinion at this point. We'll play more, and then I'll give you more opinions. We've reached our 30-minute mark. And that's longer than I probably wanted to go, but whatever. We had some cool stuff to talk about. Remember, you can follow me on at itsjag1 on Twitter, but more than likely, I won't ever see anything there. So more than likely, I would just, better yet, follow me at Misery of Foo, because I'm going to see that more than anything else. Go ahead, give me a follow. And I'm going to try to get a lot better at putting out there when we're going live for anything. A lot of times I do these podcasts. It might just be on the fly, though. So make sure to do that. You have to follow to my Twitch channel, so that way you're always given notice whenever I go live. You can also follow us on YouTube at Jag the Podcast. So if you've ever missed one of our podcasts and you're saying, hey, man, I'm feeling like I want a little bit of Misery of Foo in my life, you can head over to YouTube at Jag the Podcast, and you'll always see the show in perpetuity. I want to thank you guys all for being here. You really are awesome. I want to thank Unsalted Soul. He followed me yesterday. We've been talking a little bit on Twitter. He's a really cool guy. Definitely go find him on Twitch. He is awesome. I gave him a follow as well. We also got followed by I hope I say this. Is it Fisty Labs? I mean, very cool. Thank you. You are awesome. Those are the two that I'm seeing right now. I will give more shout outs along the way. We have been followed by, as of right now, we have 23 subscribers here on Twitch, and I love all of you. You are extra special fooers. And on Twitter, we have about 97 followers. So you guys are really, really awesome. You're hitting me up every single day. And remember, DMs are open. So go ahead and say hi-de-ho, good neighbor. And I will absolutely say hi back if I got a chance. to say hi back. Sometimes I'm busy, but I try to go out of my way, especially to other streamers, to go ahead and say hi and talk back and get to know you. So I'm always around, man. If you're looking for someone to game with, if you're looking, if there's a game that I do and you're looking to kind of hang out, now Dying Light 2 is a multiplayer game. If you're looking to kind of, if you need some help, or I usually am the one who needs the help, and you want to give me help, you can let me know on Twitter as well, and just let me know, hey, Misery, you know, you want to hook up? And then I'll give you my name on the Xbox, which I'm sure if you watch my stream, you already know what my name is there. So there's that. We'll probably change that, though, coming up very soon, and have it all be Misery of Foo. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. Of course, it's from the bottom of my heart. Not bottom of my heart, my whole heart. Again, I said this before. I hate when they say bottom of the heart. From my entire heart, my whole heart. I absolutely love you guys for stopping by and being here. Even if it's just lurking. Even if you're just here for a second and then you're gone. Just the fact that you came in and you listened to me for just a second gives me great joy. And I thank you so much for that. It really does mean a lot. And let's continue to grow this Foo Nation. Let's make it bigger, let's make it stronger, let's make a really cool community. And let's get to know each other a little bit better as we move forward. And I will see you the next time I do. You guys are awesome.